We shine together. All of us.
Plenty of fuel to burn it down!
30 years ago, the Omnic...
As IJC Central Command is aware, Overwatch has supported missions to repel Null Sector forces in Paris, Busan, Rio, and several other fronts. These attacks targeted cities with a high population of Omnics, wherein millions were fitted with unidentified subjugation devices that seemingly rendered Omnics unresponsive. The majority of these subjugated Omnics were abducted by Null Sector throughout the invasion, but a small percentage were recovered by Overwatch and ally militaries. Efforts by former Overwatch agent Torbjorn Lindholm to understand the function of these devices and how to safely remove them are ongoing. 2 days ago, at 0620 hours local time, a strike team was dispatched to Buenos Aires to investigate reports of a new warfront opening. At 1235 hours, all remaining Null Sector units entered a state that Agent Brigitte Lindholm described as Sentinel configuration. Null Sector abruptly ceased all offensive maneuvers, formed a tight perimeter around their command ship, and began loading the remaining subjugated Omnics onto the ship. Further reports confirmed that all 37 global holding facilities for rescued subjugated Omnics were being breached and raided.
Does Overwatch have any theories as to why Null Sector's units would suddenly act this way?
The Sentinel configuration was designed to stop Overwatch forces from interfering with Null Sector's retreat. Null troopers were observed carrying subjugated civilian Omnics onto their command ships. Unfortunately, all attempts to breach these defenses proved beyond Overwatch's current capabilities.
Designed to stop Overwatch forces. You seem very confident in that conclusion. Do you have definitive proof?
Overwatch agents discovered that a signal was being broadcast to warbots across all active fronts. With the aid of Ify Oladele, a newly recruited robotics specialist, this modified omnicode was recorded, transcribed, and translated. Miss Oladele's translation revealed a series of commands that altered Null Sector warbot programming, culminating in the abduction of subjugated Omnics, followed by a mass retreat. However, by the time we had enough information to respond, all units exited Sentinel configuration and began to retreat with the subjugated Omnics.
So, you're saying Overwatch was not strong enough to stop Null Sector?
That's not my assessment. Null Sector's actions targeted and devastated populations across the globe. No organization could have anticipated and countered this retreat with 100% effectiveness. The invasion was a calculated maneuver, intended to exhaust our resources. Overwatch agents did their best in difficult circumstances, and it is thanks to their efforts that we have any intelligence to share today. I can't emphasize enough Ms. Oladele's contributions. Without her expertise, the Omnicode broadcast and its contents may have remained unknown to our agents and the world at large.
Noted. Did Overwatch attempt to pursue the command ships to their destination?
Overwatch dispatched all our available pilots in pursuit of command ships, but our pilots were intercepted by aerial warbots. Though our agents were ultimately successful in eliminating these units, we lost visual on the retreating ships.
Does Overwatch have any leads as to where they might have gone?
Not at this time. We believe Null Sector utilized cloaking devices which interfered with satellite surveillance systems. Our agents are currently attempting to recover this corrupted satellite data and determine where the command ships may have fled. It's unclear what Null Sector's intentions are or what this means for the invasion.
Thank you, Commander Chase. Do you have any further remarks before we conclude this briefing?
Though Null Sector caused no further damage or casualties to the occupied territories, they successfully absconded with 99.2% of all previously subjugated Omnics. In the wake of this attack, I want to take a moment to recognize what a tremendous loss this is for the global Omnic community. I would encourage the IJC and world governments to extend all available resources to support their Omnic citizens. To better prepare the world against further threats from Null Sector, Overwatch will share our complete findings with the IJC. Thank you.
Soldier, is Overwatch disbanding now that Null Sector has retreated? Under the IJC's directive, Overwatch is currently on standby. It was your testimony during the Petrus Act hearings that led to Overwatch being shut down. Yet you now sit in a role as acting commander. Will you order Overwatch to disband again if the IJC demands it? The Overwatch agents who responded to the Null Sector invasion did so out of a desire to do what was right when they were needed. I stepped into this role for the same reason. When the IJC determines the world is safe, I won't be needed any longer. I'll heed the order knowing I've done my part.
Look at them, Papa. Look at them. I wish you were here to see their faces. The crowd. The lights. The spectacle. I've become quite the celebrity in the Colosseo. They have chosen me. They call me La Lupa, the wolf. And I'm their villain. At first, I hated it. Their cheers and jeers reminded me of the sycophants you surrounded yourself with. Weak men who leeched off of your greatness, picking the bones of everything you built, leaving me with nothing, surrounded by my enemies, alone. But you were preparing. In your way, you showed me that fear was a weapon. You helped me temper my wild and reckless nature with patience and guile. Taught me the value in knowing my enemy, in learning to turn their greatest strengths into their weaknesses. Even in death, you showed me the consequences of underestimating an adversary. I promise you, I won't repeat your mistakes. Look at me, Papa. This is no longer the face of your little girl. Your enemies are still my enemies. But I am so much more than you had the chance to see. My recklessness is now focused rage, and I finally embraced what I once hated. I am the wolf. I am La Lupa. They're right to fear me. They will respect me. This arena, this mob, this moment is all just a means to an end. Every lesson, every loss has been tallied and recorded. I will take back everything that was stolen from us. And I will use them to do it. Ave gentes, my name is Chiara Preziosi, and I voice Vendetta in Overwatch 2. Today I'm reading A New Empire. You knew my father. He went by many names, but everyone in Talon called him Antonio Bartalotti. He was an arms dealer, a member of Talon's inner circle, but to me... Akande, you've met my little Martia. He was Papa. About the Rome operation, I've noted some loose ends that could be traced back to... Not now, mia cara. He wanted a different life for me. He almost got his wish. Operation complete, signore. But for every enemy he took out, he made 2 more. It was only a matter of time before his mistakes caught up with him. Papa, we didn't agree on everything, but I loved him just the same. My father's body was barely cold before Talon made their move. What's going on here? Scusa, bambina. It's just business. Talon seized my father's accounts, took control of his assets, assumed his allies. And Doomfist gave away my rightful place on the Talon Council. My father, my future. They stole everything I was promised. Everything I deserved. Talon thought I'd be easy to push aside, but I would not lick my wounds in the shadows, nor allow fools to determine my worth. I would use my time out of their sight wisely. I vowed to create my own empire and ruin anyone who dare deny me again. And in Rome, there is one place where even the lowest can rise to rule. In her debut match, please welcome Vendetta! Facing up against our as yet undefeated rising star, Ajax! But even here, I was underestimated. This mysterious newcomer is about to learn why none have toppled the Colosseum's strongest colossus! Oh no! Ajax's signature Venetian drop! Ooh! Should have known better than to go straight for the big leagues. Maybe stay home next time, sweetheart. Wait! What's this? So I let my opponent have their fun. To send a message. When I'm hit, I strike back. Twice as hard! What a ferocious comeback! Ah! The match goes to Vendetta! I became known as the Wolf of Retribution. I took on any fight the Colosseo could throw at me, and won. For that, I was at once hated and adored. With my winnings, I forged myself a blade worthy of my talents. With every victory I seized, the crowd cried for more, and I gained my own allies and assets. More fighters who craved a taste of my glory. As my reputation within the arena grew, so did my influence. I infiltrated Europe's elite. Proximity to the Colosseum's most infamous gladiator was very valuable. That's how I met you, and gained access to your network. I would love to finance your next match, in return for a good word with your other sponsors. My people will see it done. As I built my new empire, stronger than that of my father's. I never forgot the life I was denied. When Overwatch apprehended Doomfist, I saw my chance. Strike Talon at its weakest point, and reclaim my inheritance. Attack the Venice base and report back. Leave no survivors. But I didn't yet have the numbers to take on Talon outright. You failed! You fools! That was our chance! It became clear I would need greater influence, stronger gladiators, and a better plan, if I wished to take back what was mine. Years passed after that failure, and I watched, infuriated, as the Council ate itself alive and brought Talon to ruin. But in a divine comedy, as Talon's power waned, I rose to my peak. Your new Campionessa del Colosseo! I bided my time, knowing my chance to claim vengeance would return. And one night, as I celebrated the spoils of my victory in the Colosseum, it did. Word reached me that Doomfist had escaped his confinement and reclaimed his position at the head of Talon. I decided then I was done waiting for my moment. No more climbing. No more wasting my rage on meaningless opponents. It is time to strike back against my true enemies. With your death, I will send a message to Talon. You thought your fight with me was over! But this war is just beginning. Perfection. I will see you in Overwatch 2.
The legacy of Overwatch began with a single shared belief. That one person's courage can be the catalyst for change. During the Omnic Crisis, when humanity stood on the brink of annihilation, that idea united those who were willing to stand. It created the first heroes of Overwatch. And it's the same belief we're fighting for now. In the past, Overwatch wasn't perfect, but its purpose never changed. Our mission, the reason we returned when Null Sector attacked, was about protecting people. It was about our shared belief in a future worth fighting for. The International Justice Commission recognized that. They suspended the order that shut Overwatch down, because human and Omnic kind needed us. But even we didn't save the world alone. When the smoke cleared, we saw something incredible. We saw you. People from all walks of life. Soldiers, scientists, ordinary people with extraordinary courage stood up to share the defense of our world. In Paris, Busan, Rio, old allies and new answered the call. Mercy flew to our rescue. Reinhardt charged back into battle for honor and glory. Even new faces, Alexandra Zaryanova, Lucio Correa dos Santos, Hana Song, and so many others, put their lives aside and came to Gibraltar. Not because they were ordered to, but because it was right. We've reviewed every report, every act of bravery during the invasion, and you stood out. Not just for your skill, but for your courage. That's why you're receiving the message embedded within this token. You are formally invited to Watchpoint Gibraltar, to stand with a new generation of heroes. The world won't save itself. Join us. Sojourn is still negotiating with the IJC. With Null Sector gone, there's pressure to shut us down again. When she finds out I sent these tokens, it won't be pretty. But back when I sent the recall, I didn't know if anyone would respond. I spent years alone here, thinking I was the only one who couldn't leave Overwatch in the past. But everyone who answered, they still believed like I did. Fighting Null Sector with so few agents has been hard. But it felt right. Null Sector's forces may have retreated, but they're not gone. And who knows what else is out there? The world still needs Overwatch. It always did. Besides, if there's one thing I've learned in my time here, it's better to beg Sojourn's forgiveness than to ask her permission. Well, here goes nothing.
Hey there. My name is Olivia Lee Anderson, and I voice Freya. Today, I'm reading Search and Destroy. Monte Carlo, Monaco. When I became a bounty hunter, I quickly learned the questions to ask my clients. You wanted me to come here tonight. This was all a test. It was a calculation. I had to be sure you were right for this. And then there are some questions. Right for what? For a problem no one else has been able to solve. I think you might find it particularly interesting that are better left unanswered. I could hardly believe it, that years after Emery left Overwatch, he began working for Talon. At some point they'd lost track of him, and now Max wanted him back. Why? I couldn't say. But I was determined to find out. You should have led with this. Leave him to me. Oasis, Iraq, Emery Sorolla. I'd wager you never expected him to land in your little quarry ledger. Moira O'Dearan. She was a stain on Overwatch's reputation, and it seemed she'd sunk even lower with Talon. She always found Beckers with the least oversight and the deepest pockets. But Emery never did what he did for the money. Tell me, Freya, how long's it been since you've seen your erstwhile cohort? Nearly a decade. When he left Overwatch. You can't resign. The strike team needs you.
Tell that to the strike team. They don't seem to hear me when I point out how loose protocols got. Doubt they'll even notice I'm gone.
All right, fine. I need you. My team needs you.
Make friends with Vivian. Take your concerns to her. She'll listen.
And what about you? Will you be okay? Overwatch has been your life.
I'll be fine. I've already gotten a few offers to consult on global security. Just promise me you won't let this place change who you are, Frey. Keep up the good fight. It's worth it.
Interesting. Well, quite a lot can happen in a decade. Just look at us. Both gainfully employed by the very organization we once sought to destroy. This is just a job. I work for myself. Yes. Well, your semantic gymnastics aside, one must go where one's unique talents are appreciated. Funny though, how changed he was when he appeared on Talon's doorstep. When was that? A few years after his defection from Overwatch. He was rather choosy about the assignments he accepted. And he was cold, calculating, ruthless. I'd hired him to help me procure, shall we say, exotic materials hidden in a highly defended R&D facility in Berkala. Emery disappeared from the operation, leaving me to fight on my own. I assumed he'd been captured or killed. But when I made it to the objective, I found him there, waiting for me. And that became his modus operandi. Going dark during and between missions, only to suddenly reappear to ensure success. As to his current whereabouts, I couldn't say. But you goody two-shoes were rather chummy whilst serving together in Overwatch. Perhaps the clues you seek are buried in your own precious memories. Istanbul, Turkey. Emery and I were close, both professionally and personally. I was hardly the only one who looked up to him, whereas the other members of the vaunted Overwatch strike team seemed untouchable, superhuman even. Emery was different. He built relationships with the entire support staff, including those in search and rescue. In his native Turkey, he'd served in the special forces, remained close to his former squad mates and family. I'd made the trip myself once, during a break from our Overwatch duties. Everything's delicious, Mrs. Sorolla. Please, call me Zara. Any friend of Emery's is more than welcome in our home, especially one so pretty.
Mom, please.
I'd returned to Istanbul to see if his parents might know where I could find their beloved son. No such luck. None of this was like Emery. But then, if what Moira told me was true, maybe I never knew my friend at all. With no other leads, I turned my focus to the jobs Emery had taken for Talon. I quickly found Moira's mission in Berkala. She was after something for her genetics research, but the facility served other purposes. All my instincts screamed the other was important. But how? I met with Mauga, who had helped Emre infiltrate a black site in Guatemala. Bro was still of killing, not a lot of talking. Kinda tanked the buzz, you know? Widowmaker had worked with Imre to destroy a weapons facility in Hungary. And Imre disappeared during the mission? Well, for a short while, he disabled his tracker. Reyes was my final stop. He'd fallen far since I'd known him in Overwatch. Whoever that was with me in Luanda, it wasn't Emre. What do you mean? The old Emre couldn't tie his boots without consulting the Red Manual. But on that ship, he was different. I'd come nearly full circle, and the story remained the same. Emre had become a cold-hearted killer. No remorse, no emotion, not even a clear pattern of motivation. It made no sense. What had happened to him? What was I missing? The terrible things I'd already learned about my lost friend were more than I ever wished to know. And yet, sadly, still not enough. Then, a break. I recognized one of the sites Emre had hit, and now Helix installation in Kinshasa. We'd visited before, in Overwatch. The jobs Emre had taken for Talon were at or near satellite command centers where global security was monitored, and where Overwatch was often debriefed. The strike team didn't exactly prioritize meetings with the support teams, but Emre did. While the information housed there was valuable, it wasn't what Talon wanted. And yet, every command center had been within striking distance of Emre's jobs for Talon. All but one. Security logs showed multiple minor breaches at the facility in recent days, as if someone was doing reconnaissance, readying for a strike. If I wanted to prove my theory, there was only one way to find out. Pilot, take me to Riyadh. Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. My instincts were right, but if Emre had done this, caused this carnage, could I do what needed to be done? What happened here? The soldier, like a demon. His eyes. Who? Emre. He was going to kill me.
Emre, stop!
After all the years we'd served together, all the shared memories.
I just want to talk.
The victories, the defeats.
Please!
My lost friend. All the time I'd spent wondering where he'd gone, only to find a monster.
There he is! Fire! Kill it!
In my business, there are questions you don't ask. No. Like why I'm being hired. I certainly didn't ask Mex that, much as I wanted to. And in that moment, I didn't have to. Finally, the terrible noise stopped. All around me. Chaos. No. Destruction. And then, in the smoke, a shape.
Frey, is that you?
Not a demon this time. Not a monster. Only Emre.
Appears I wasted money on all those new security measures. I understand you've been busy. You've already paid a visit to 2 of my associates from the Talon Council. And now, me.
Tell me, Max. I want to know if Doomfist so much as flinched when I killed them, or if he simply slotted in another pawn, as he did once my father's seat was empty.
I wouldn't pretend to know what Akande thinks. Why he does the things he does.
Don't play innocent. You were there when they portioned out the riches. Just like you were there when they threw me out onto the street. Yes, I am carving up the Talon Council to send a message to Doomfist. But for you, Max, this is personal.
Don't let the suit fool you. I've been in your position before, left with nothing, after the crisis. I remember what it was like to toil in silence while the cruel and unworthy sat in a palace they'd forged from luck and the labor of others. And I remember the moment I took my revenge. Although moment doesn't quite encapsulate it. I made them watch for years while I managed and grew what they had happened upon by chance or inheritance. My vengeance was a living thing, is still living. In fact, something tells me we're alike in that way. And if my hunch is correct, that makes me far more useful to you alive than dead.
You've overestimated your value. Loyalty bow at the end of a blade is worthless.
If you've been watching Talon, then you've seen the same thing I have. We are barreling towards ruin. Akande's alliance with Null Sector and its fanatical leader was a disaster.
You cannot think me so foolish, Max. You may have helped yourself to my inheritance, but my trust is not so easily won.
Then maybe this will satisfy you. I see your taste for power, your desire to rebuild Talon with your own vision. The keys to bending every major player to your will are right here, on this chip. Weaknesses, leverage. Talon is less an organization these days than a collection of powerful individuals with selfish interests. If you assure them you can advance those interests, they will fall in line. The scientist Moira Odiran, she'll follow anyone who will fund her research into genetic modification. Anyone. Speaking of which, Annelie, the Widowmaker, she relies on a steady supply of drug formulations to maintain her skill and suppress bad memories. Vishkar will be more slippery, but their reputation is no longer as flawless as they'd like others to believe. They miss the days of the crisis when they were the shining heroes, rebuilding the world at a massive profit. As for the other agents at Talon's table, yes, Doomfist has his loyalists. Lieutenants he's won through strength or vision. But if we play our cards right, not all of them will follow him out the door.
I could kill you now. Take the chip for myself.
You could, but the information alone will only get you so far. You'll need other allies if you hope to stand against Doomfist. I can organize them for you.
Tell me what you gain from this.
I simply require a seat at your table, maintaining my current position, which I assure you will be to your benefit.
Betray me, and I will run you through before you can utter a single word with that silver tongue. I will not allow you to jeopardize my plans.
I'd say you've made your terms vividly clear. I look forward to building a new Talon by your side.
We are not equals, Max. I have spared you, so you can serve me. Do not forget that.
I wouldn't dream of it.
I hope you placed a wager. It would be a pity to have such an incomparable view of today's race, while risking no stake in its outcome.
Oh yes, I backed Clelia. Horatius may be undefeated, but one should never underestimate the fire of a fresh competitor. I must apologize again for my tardiness. Drivers these days. Perhaps I ought to hire one of your little racers down there instead.
I cannot imagine a woman of your refinement barreling down the streets in a chariot. Clelia is my most ruthless champion, and she drives much like how she fights. Dirty.
Oh, I'm well aware of her talents. But women such as ourselves, well, we have no problem breaking a few rules in the name of creating our own. Wouldn't you agree?
I would, Miss Singania.
Oh, please. Call me Vera.
Vera, then. Has Sanjay briefed you on our negotiations?
He has. Though he described them less as negotiations and more as delicate conversations regarding the value of your partnership.
His proposal was an insult. For years I've fought against the poor estimations of those around me. Those who failed to see my worth. I did not make it to the top by accepting scraps.
My, you are a fiery one.
I only hope you've come prepared with a more suitable offer. After all, Vishkar's shields would serve as a far better defense for your tattered reputation than they would for my fighters.
I assure you, Vishkar's reputation is well managed.
I'm not so certain it is. Your careless construction in Suravasa, inciting a popular uprising in Rio, trouble with a runaway architect, among other more unsavory matters. Your company is one failure away from a formal investigation. But a public connection to Talon, ooh, that would ruin you.
Well, you've certainly done your research, haven't you?
I have.
What a rare pleasure to meet with someone of your caliber. With that sort of attention to detail, I imagine you've brought your own offer to the table.
Vishkar's public image has suffered greatly. It will take more than sponsoring a few winning matches to fix what your organization has broken. Just as I will require more of you, if we are to form a partnership.
And what, pray tell, would you require of me?
Your loyalty. Vishkar's shielding technology would be effective in the Colosseo, but I believe it could have broader applications.
Threatening to expose my company's secrets and enticing me with a business proposition in the same breath? My, you certainly live up to your reputation.
I am my reputation.
And Vishkar's reputation is mine. Let me be clear. Any success from this endeavor is mine to claim. But any faults will fall on your shoulders alone. Are we in alignment, darling?
We are.
Marvelous. Let us begin.
Hey, Papa. I wish we had more time. I was thinking about... Remember that little red bike that I begged you for? And that kid that tried to take it from me. I broke his nose. I was so scared you'd be mad, but... you were proud of me. You said, never let anyone take what is yours. But now you're gone. And they've taken everything. Now, I have nothing.
Clearly, you have gathered us all here for a reason. I have more pressing matters to attend to. Get to the point.
We should have put a stop to Vendetta a long time ago. She's a threat.
I've been tracking her for years. She's gone from nothing to this. She's building up to something. And if we don't rein her in, she's going to...
Ah, good. You've saved me the trouble. You're all here.
Ah, Martia. What an unexpected pleasure.
You're not welcome here, Vendetta.
Not welcome. I've earned my right to be here. Paid for in blood. But what have you done? Lurked in the shadows. Carved up my father's empire. Cast me aside. I want what I am owed.
Owed? Child, you mistake your successes for succession. It is time you learn the difference. Predictable.
Never let anyone take what is yours.
Pathetic. It takes rare arrogance to challenge me.
My family gave everything to Talon. And like a coward, you buried our legacy. I'm here to take it back.
You deserve nothing. Power is not passed down. It must be seized.
I agree. And you are in my way!
You disappoint me. So close to your vengeance. And now, you hesitate. It makes you weak.
I want to remember this moment. Talon may have stolen my past, but I am its future. A shame you won't be around to enjoy what comes next. No more mistakes. No more weakness. I will lead us out of the shadows to seize what should have always been ours. And the world will kneel. A new Talon Empire begins now.
Magnify. Overwatch battle stations. We are under attack by Talon.
Greetings. My name is Chiara Preziosi, and I voice Vendetta. Today I'm reading Vengeance Comes. At last, I have reclaimed my birthright. This is my time, my legacy, my Talon. My father didn't tolerate failure in his organization. I admired that. Took it forward when I built my own empire in the Colosseo. With Doomfist defeated, I will bring forth a new era of Talon. A Talon not confined to shadows, but basking in the light of victory. Doomfist preferred accumulating allies instead of using them. Serving me, no one will leech from this table and offer nothing in return. Vera, have you finished the hard light augmentations? Nearly there, darling. We've already outfitted Talon troopers with standard issue shielding, but we saved the best for your gladiators, of course. Vishkar's intelligent shielding will learn your gladiators' fighting styles. Once the program is complete, they will be unstoppable. I look forward to seeing how they perform in the Colosseo and outside it. Vishkar will invest in Talon, knowing I will tolerate nothing less. There are no avenues for side deals, and no quarter given to disloyalty. Will your gladiators lead the operations to come then? Speak your concern if you have one. Given 3 of our most tenured agents have left over disagreements with leadership, do we have adequate personnel to infiltrate a Helix installation like Grand Mesa? Moira is clever, but she was given too long a leash. All that research reserved for only a few lab rats, 2 of which have now scurried away. You will have your prize, Odiren. I anticipated some defectors. Max has been hard at work, securing new help. Yes, the stray agent I promised, Emre Sarola. I trust you remember him, Moira. Moira's filth is easily bought, and her skill will advance my vision. Huh, and I see your little bounty hunter has remained on board, Max. Yes, Freya is also ex-Overwatch, and has agreed to support the operation. Of course she has. I'm so pleased you found Emre after all. I hope he's just as you remember him. Provided Max covers my fee, we'll handle Europe. Loyalty has always been a buyer's market. Shouldn't be difficult. We've both run operations from Grand Mesa before. This watchpoint was never fully decommissioned. Command was given to Helix Securities after Overwatch disbanded. The base's security system utilizes a mix of cutting-edge drones and human guards, standard for Helix. The guards adhere to a strict recon schedule. It revolves from time to time, but I know the algorithm. Some would question the use of a turncoat, but Emre's results speak for themselves. Excellent. And our distraction? The Deadlock rebels have established a temporary hold at Powder Keg Mine, not far from the base. We'll make a run on the weapons cache at level 4. Enough cover for your team to get what you want. I trust I don't need to explain what will happen if your gang abandons the operation before we've achieved our objective. External partnerships have their value, provided one maintains a firm hand. We're new to doing business together, so I'll give you a pass. Rest assured, you'll get your cover. Good. Connect me with Tokyo. Vendetta. The Hashimoto clan extends our appreciation for your reinforcements. Without your assistance, Tokyo would have been difficult to secure. My troops are easily rescinded, should your bladesmith not meet his quota by the deadline. We will fulfill our obligation. Mauga, I'm sending you to Junkertown. Determine what drives their queen, what she needs to strike a deal with me. Is it prudent to send Mauga on a diplomatic mission? What's the matter? I'm great with words. Besides, my kind of diplomacy guarantees results. The Junkers respect power beyond anything. Mauga is the personification of power. And if the Junkers prove more threat than ally, he'll correct their poor judgment. Now, only one thing stands in our way. Overwatch. Pardon my boldness, but why? Our intelligence shows the International Justice Commission is likely to disband Overwatch in the coming days, given Null Sector's retreat. Why expend the resources when global governments are set to do our job for us? That lack of vision ends today. For years, Talon refused to seize its moment. Overwatch was disbanded, toothless. Your failed leadership did not leverage their weakness. Instead, it enabled this council to eat itself alive for a bigger cut of a smaller and smaller pie. There was no one to oppose you. The world was yours to take. And Doomfist's ideology allowed Null Sector to stoke Overwatch back to power. Yet, even as Overwatch limped through battle, Doomfist tried to pick up its agents one by one, rather than making a definitive blow against the organization. And then, your chance was gone. Overwatch is no longer a memory. They have reformed, and we must end them before they grow any stronger. When are you planning? I am not planning such a move, Max. I have already made it. There's a certain satisfaction that comes from being a conqueror no one believed in. I was cast into the shadows, forgotten. Now, everyone will remember my name.
Is that you? I can't believe it. How did you find me? How long has it been since...
What happened to you?
What? Oh no. Frey, this isn't... I can explain.
You disappeared for years, and this is how I find you? Stealing data from a global security compound, slaughtering indiscriminately. I thought hearing you're working with Talon would be the worst thing I could learn about you, but clearly that was too optimistic.
Frey, wait,
I've spent months on your trail. I worked for Talon agents just to track you down. I refuse to believe all the horrible things they said about
I promise it's not what you...
You left Overwatch behind, left me behind, because you couldn't bear to compromise what you believed in. And now, all this? What have you become?
Freya, just hear me out, please. When I left Overwatch, it was because I thought I could help more on my own. I remember saying goodbye to you and wondering if I was doing the right thing. I remember having options lined up, being hopeful for a chance at something new. But some point after that, my memory just stops. You want to know what happened to me? How I ended up like this? So do I. It's like I'm being manipulated, compelled to act without mercy to achieve a goal I don't understand. It tells me to work with Talon. It tells me to infiltrate bases like this one, no matter how many lives I need to take. And if I try to fight it, it just takes over, and I wake up like this. I don't know what it is, what it wants, but it's turning me into a monster. I know it's difficult to trust me, Frey. There are things I've done that I'd rather have never known. But I promise, I'm telling you the truth. I'm sorry, Frey, for putting you in this position. I wouldn't blame you if you walked away. Or if you think I can't leave here alive.
No. No. There's a reason I came this far to find you. If any part of you is still the Emery I knew, then I believe you. Let's get out of here, before anyone else finds this mess.
This place seems familiar. Where are we?
You really don't know?
No. I don't know much of anything right now.
We're in Riyadh.
I woke up in Lima just a few days ago. I was in Osaka before that. Now I'm here. And I barely remember how any of it happened.
Well, whatever you remember is more than anyone else knows. From the sound of it, you've been off-grid a long time.
Why did you come looking for me then?
Your boss has sent me. Seems Talon's got plans they need you to handle.
Vibe. Look at that price tag. No wonder you came for me.
With what you put me through, I'm making Max pay me double.
If he needs me back so bad he sent you, hell, call it triple. But I'm glad you came. It's been years since I've spoken to anyone I trust, let alone a friend.
Yeah, of course.
What happens once you turn me into Max, then?
Well, I figured I might stay with you.
You will? Even if it means working with Talon?
I don't exactly share Talon's aims. But if that's what it takes, I'll manage. You always had my back when we worked together. It's only right I return the favor. I want to help you, Emery.
Thank you, Frey. I think you might be the only one who can.
Project log Jetpack Cut, Entry 1. With Null Sector gone, the team has been sitting around Gibraltar without much to do. I'd say I'm in the same boat, but to be honest, I've had my hands full. Ever since I found this cute little stowaway, my mind has been racing with ideas. For some reason, when I rescued this pretty kitty from in between some rocket parts in the main landing bay, I thought back to some projects I never got off the ground. Literally. I was so young when I drafted them up, and that lazy old Mitzi wasn't much help either. But something about this stray got me thinking again. Maybe there's a way to make this work after all. Looking at my old sketches, I can tell I had a lot of hopes for this build. Guess it goes to show how far I've come that I can finally turn all those dreams into reality. And Fika has been a surprising help. Oh, I named her Fika, by the way, since she looks like a big kanelbulle. There was a funny moment earlier today. I was so stuck on the schematics for the thrusters, but Fika knocked one of my old blueprints off the shelf, and it actually clued me into the answer I was looking for. I can't help but think there's something special about this kitty. I'm thinking over what material suits the jetpack best. A carbon fiber frame would be nice and lightweight, but aluminum would be more resilient. The weight distribution on a cat is pretty different from a human, not to mention the tail. So for the stabilizers, I'm thinking... Does the harness need shock absorbers, or will Fika's fur be enough? Big problem. How to make a joystick that doesn't require opposable thumbs. I have a few ideas for the motor, but I'll need to be careful. I'm worried Fika might lose one of her 9 lives if it's too loud on startup. And for the healing projectiles... Actually, should they be projectiles? Oh, I bet Fika will love that. I should really add a grapple to the frame. She'll need it whenever Reinhardt charges off without us. I put out different paint options, and Fika knocked everything over except blue, of course. Hon är svensk ut I klospetsarna. And that's that. Blueprints for Project Jetpack Cut are finally complete. Whew. I wish my younger self could see just how well this turned out. To be honest, though, I'm not sure I'll ever get the chance to build this for real. I know Fika would be a great help, but a cat in a jetpack seems crazy, even by our team standards. But who knows? We keep saying the world could always use more heroes, and I think she might be just the hero the world needs right now.
Vice President Singania, the ceremony will start when you're ready. I'll upload the latest speech onto your datapad if you'd like.
I'll handle it. I've designed this entire awards ceremony to maximize budget and spectacle. every detail in place is a balance of impact and efficiency. And they would test my patience now, just moments before I'm set to take the stage. Well, I suppose I should be well rehearsed. Let's see what they've written for me now. Thank you all for being here today. It is my honor to present this year's Vishkar Award for excellence in reimagining architectural applications to a most worthy candidate. But before I speak of our honoree, allow me to introduce myself. As you surely know, my family... Oh, they can't be serious. Bringing up my family before even mentioning my own achievements. Introducing myself as if everyone doesn't already know who I am. The Singania family's connections to Vishkar are... Ugh, connections? Once I say connections, I've lost them. They'll think only of the Singania name on the plaque outside, and my grandfather's legacy. Vishkar isn't a dynasty. Well, I suppose it is. But it's not as though I was handed this position. I've trained years, proven my worth. Oh, what utter drivel! They truly expect me to spend 3 minutes extolling our architects, prattling on about their expertise, about how this company would be nothing without their hard work and dedication. Oh, enough. I am the one in charge here. My fortune bankrolls their academies. My contracts secure their assignments. I've already dedicated an entire evening to their success. I hardly think they deserve more of my praise. Oh, this speech is useless. I will speak for myself. Again, Vera, in your own words, from the beginning. It is my duty as an executive for the Vishkar Corporation to project the same lightness of being that we manufacture and provide to our partners across the globe. As an architect and an entrepreneur, I have found a wealth of success. Some have called me too generous for sharing my victories with the company, but a rising tide elevates every ship, as they say. And under my oversight, no single group has risen higher than Vishkar's talented architects. To those present in the room tonight, know that talent alone may only take you so far. It was my drive that carried me through my schooling and earned me the position I now hold. Proud as I am to bear the Singania family name, I don't solely attribute my success to my upbringing. Their support was always rather specific in its focus. As critical as the public can be, one's own kin can sometimes be far crueler. Though my family may not have bought into my initial forays into heartlight manipulation, the care and resources I subsequently put toward mastering the craft taught me more than any academy could. I learned not to tolerate anyone who would question the merit of my work, or insinuate that I have not earned my position. Certainly, there's value in the artistry of hard-light manipulation. But what about the art of negotiation? Of presentation? Shaping oneself to be perfect. Crafting not just a reputation, but an image. Something untouchable. Something worthy. That is the true test of talent. The real... Oh, what are you saying, Vera? Even if it were the truth, no one would respect you. Let alone believe you, if you shared your own perspective. No, just give them what they want. Deliver the speech. Hand out the award. Smile. You're Vera Singania, heiress to the Vishkar dynasty, keeper of the family fortune, inheritor of innovation. You will be the one to lead Vishkar into its better, brighter future. They want you to be perfect, Vera. It's a good thing you are.
I hear you're leaving for Kanezaka, Mizuki. Yeah. Some punks are interfering with our operations out there. They want me to infiltrate, do some recon. Even Kurora doesn't know I'm coming. And the elders don't trust the Kanezaka branch not to blow my cover. I just came to make sure my dear Toshiro Oji-san had his fill of treats before I go. No, you didn't. You only bribe me like this when you want my advice. Damn. Am I that easy to read? The tales you had as a boy are still present in the man you've become. What's on your mind? This mission. I'm a little worried about it. I can understand why. These kids sound like quite a handful. The Hashimoto elders must have great faith in you to entrust you with a task like this. Look, I get that these Kanezaka punks are a problem, all right? They're slippery enough to mess with our weapon shipments and get away with it. But they're also my age. Some younger even. And they're not part of a rival family. They're just fighting with all they've got to survive. When I think about how I might have to hurt people like that, I guess I don't really want to. You have never been cruel enough for this life, Mizuki. You always say that. Do you disagree? Have you given any more thought to leaving all of this behind? I can't. You know I can't. I'll be punished. By the elders and the curse. I've been running from it my whole life. Ever since it took Mom. Back when Dad and I moved here, he thought it wouldn't follow us. But look how wrong he was. No matter how much money he spent on good luck charms, how many exorcists and priests he hired, it didn't matter. He still died. It's not like I asked to walk the Gokudo path. This was my fate. And you're telling me I should just leave? Fight against the inevitable the way Dad did? I can't. If the elders don't get me, if she doesn't get me, the curse will. Either way, I'm screwed. Curses can be broken, Mizuki. This is an animal avatar weapon. After so many years of crafting dismal braids, I was itching to unleash my full potential again. The elders all think you've lost your touch. If she finds out you made this for me, you'd best not let anyone discover it. Mizuki, I understand that your family's passing weighs heavy on your shoulders. But you must face the demons waiting on the road ahead. For turning back at a crossroad will not lead you forward. I offer you the same advice I once gave my daughter. You must find your own path. I don't even know where to start. Embrace the journey ahead of you, and you will have already begun. In Kanezaka, no one will know your true identity, right? Make friends. Seek peace. You will only find your place if you venture to look. What if I'm not strong enough? Would I have forged you a masterpiece if I thought you weren't? Okay, Oji-san. I won't let you down. I need to get going. You gonna be okay without me? Of course. You sure? No more tea. No more donuts. No more midnight shogi games. Kiyotsukero, Mizuki. Thank you, Toshiro-san. You too.
Select your hero. Select heroes to ban. Now entering King's Row.
Every soldier needs a cause.
Not that it matters to me, but try not to hurt yourselves out there.
The delta M of a given ray Q is approximately... The formula escapes me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
There is much to do. Actuating the barrier.
Stay on guard. Taking my pilot location.
I'm dead here.
I see their turret.
Just like old times.
Enemy here.
Bionic heal is ready for you. I don't understand your generation. Inevitable, as those things are.
Sure, I'll help.
The barrier cannot withstand much more.
Watch here. I'll put this to work.
The barrier appeared. Barrier is nearly
I'm on fire. If I'm still standing, I'm still fighting. Hostiles on our objective.
60 seconds remaining.
I rubbed some dirt on it.
Get them
Let's go.
away from the payload. I see an enemy.
Keep a lookout. Eyes open.
What is that syzygy?
That's better. Suffer. Their payload's on the move. Stop them.
It's getting on.
The desired result may soon reveal itself.
Stop the payload from moving.
That's better.
Let's go.
Targeting me.
10 seconds.
I've got you in my sights.
Quadruple kill. Quintuple kill. Team
Enemy team down. Push forward now.
round 1.
Hey.
Complete. Score 0-1. Switching sides. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
Every soldier needs a cause.
Our mission awaits us.
Hello.
The knight's called Gracie. The axe is Carnage. And me? I'm your queen.
Toshiro-san mentioned you had a daughter blessed by the fox spirit. Could she be...
Get out! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commence. Capture objective A.
You picked the wrong enemy.
This ends now.
Need a moment to recharge.
Keep a lookout. Heads up.
Poison. For all the day.
I've got meds. Who needs them?
The payload is approaching its destination.
I've seen tougher spots. Hello.
Let's go win this thing.
Group up with me. Hey.
Hey.
How come the payload's not moving?
Over here! The fray is upon us.
Locked and loaded.
Pain is inevitable.
I've got you in my sights. Mission, stay out of my way.
Are you finished? Victory! Play of the game.